welcome back to the Love Letters from Lakyn podcast. It's a beautiful Sunday, and I just got back from church, so that's why I'm wearing a cutesy little outfit. I also have some new bedding, if you can see. I actually don't know if you can see because I think the iPad is only showing my giant chair. I want to formally apologize for the audio in last week's episode. I know it was messed up and that it got really quiet halfway through. Don't know what that was about. I did, however, start the episode off super close to the mic. I was just yelling into the mic last week. So, this week, hopefully the setup is a little bit better. I'm currently holding, if you're watching on YouTube, I'm holding this little fidget toy that Rebecca got me, my old boss. And Rebecca, thank you for my gift. I cried while opening it. But yeah, this is my little pink balloon dog fidget, and it's literally my favorite thing in the world. So thank you so much, Rebecca. I don't think you understand how much this has become a part of my daily life. So, welcome to today's episode. Today, my drinks of the day are a greens mixture in my little water cup. Been drinking these. They're actually not bad. They're just like a giant package from Costco with there's 50 little single packets. You just pour them into ice cold water, and it has a bunch of greens in them. I don't really know, my dad bought them, but they're mixed berry flavor and they're actually very pleasant. So that is what we're drinking today. I've realized lately that I have really slowed down on my water intake, and I used to be the girl who would drink a lot of water. I was really good at drinking water, and I've noticed in the past few months or so, I've started to reach for energy drinks and coffee and a fun beverage to help my anxiety, I think. One thing that I've noticed whenever I quit nicotine, I really started to reach for caffeinated beverages as my replacement, if that makes sense. I didn't get the high from the nicotine or the buzz from the nicotine, so I started to up my caffeine intake, which a win is a win. I would rather have a caffeine addiction than a nicotine addiction, so I'd say we're doing okay. But yeah, that's just something I've noticed about myself. Okay, little introduction for today's episode. We got the Madison Beer Locket Tour tickets. I was so excited and happy with how it all went down. I did lose the Ariana Grande Ticketmaster war, so it felt good to have a win in the ticketing world, especially in the Ticketmaster world. So we did get pit tickets. They were only $150, and my sister and I are gonna go see her in Austin, Texas in June, so I'm super excited for that. I've talked about this literally on the last two episodes. Madison Beer is one of my favorite artists of all time, and her new album Locket just came out on Friday, January 16th, and it was amazing. I really like this album. My only grievance with it is I wish it was longer. It's only 11 songs, and 3 of them were previously released as singles. So we got 8 new songs, and they're incredible. However, one of them is an intro, so I wish we had more songs from her, but she has been teasing and hinting about a deluxe version of this album. So hopefully we get that. Either way, I am absolutely in love with the album. I think it's one of her greatest works of art. She is so incredible. I think she's so experimental in her music, and you never really know what she's going to put out, and that's what I love about her. Her vibe is very dreamy, as my friend Kennedy described it. It's just dreamy, and she has a few upbeat pop hits here and there, but her main vibe and theme in all her albums has always been just very dreamy. I know that her biggest inspirations she's talked about are Billie Eilish and Lana Del Rey, and that really reflects in her music, I think, but it still is her own music, and she still has her own style, if that makes sense. But my first off the first listen and just these past few days that I've been listening to the album, my top 3 songs are You're Still Everything, Angel Wings, and Bittersweet. Now, Bittersweet was one of the songs she released as a single. I think it was the first single off of this album, and it stands as one of my favorite. I think it is in my top 3. It still stands as one of my favorites. But yeah, Angel Wings, absolutely obsessed with it. You're Still Everything. That's like probably my favorite song currently. She has another song on the album called Just for the Night, and it is so Billie Eilish coded. Like, I encourage you guys to go listen to it just to hear it. And like, I feel like if you didn't know who Madison Beer was, like, or if you didn't have any knowledge of her previously, you would listen to that song and be like, wait, is this literally Billie Eilish? In the best way possible. Like, it's so good. Again, those are just my top three, but the entire album is so good, and I'm so excited to see what she does with the Locket tour. This is her biggest tour she's ever done. She's playing Madison Square Garden, which is insane. Like, her previous tours are just like small little theater venues. So this is super exciting for her, and I am just like so proud of her. She's my baby. I don't know how she's not more famous than she is. I feel like she's an underappreciated artist. I highly recommend her music. She's incredible. Sadly, because this is a bigger tour and she's playing bigger venues, this is her first tour without meet and greets, which I was kind of hoping to meet her again, but it's okay. I'm very blessed and thankful that I got to meet her once in this lifetime. And we are in the pit. What they did, so for VIP packages for this tour, is instead of selling them with the ticket during pre-sale, they're actually going to sell the VIP packages during general on sale, which happens this Wednesday, or actually it'll be past by the time this episode comes out. It'll be yesterday. But basically, they did this, which I didn't realize before. So I'm happy that they did it this way. They did this because if they were to combine the packages and the ticket, they said the fees would have been ridiculous, and like all the Ticketmaster fees and everything, and that it would have been more expensive. So by selling them separately, what? Oh my gosh. By selling them separately, the fees are going to be significantly less for fans. So I really appreciate them for doing that. So I need to talk to my sister and see if she wants to do a VIP package. I think it would be nice so that we can enter the venue early and get a couple perks. There is a Q&A package that's a little more pricey, but I'm going to talk to Ash and see what we think about it. Either way, I'm so happy to be there and just to be on the floor. Like, we will guaranteed have good seats in our venue. So I'm super excited. Again, I'm really excited to see her in a bigger venue. January 16th was also the day of the last day at my job. I almost said current job. It's not my current job anymore. It was a very sad day. You guys know that I've been not really dreading it, but just kind of, yeah, dreading the saying goodbye part of things. I didn't think I would leave my job. Like I mentioned, I didn't think that any of this would happen so soon and so quick. So it's definitely been an emotional week. I cherished every last moment with my kiddos and my coworkers and my staff. And we had a really special last day together. We had a parent outreach night where we did cookie decorating, so I was able to just really be present and spend time with my kids and their families on my last day. And it was really special, and I was just showered with love and gifts from all people, coworkers, staff, friends, families, kids. It was the most perfect ending that there could have been, if that makes sense. There's no easy way to leave behind people that you love and to close a chapter that is so near and dear to your heart, but I'd say it was the best last day that I could have possibly had with all of my people. And while I am very sad to have had to close that chapter, I really am excited to walk through this new door that the Lord has opened for me. I truly feel every day, I feel like I am more confident that I made the right choice. Even this morning at church, our pastor was talking about, God is God's not against sending storms your way just to get your attention. If you feel like he has been calling you to take the leap and jump into something new, he will stop at nothing to let you know, like, hey, this is the path you need to take. And I feel like that really resonated with me this morning because I I think for a while I tried to ignore him when he would tell me like and it is time to move on. It's okay to close this chapter. There are new opportunities awaiting you. I want you to take this opportunity. And again, I feel like this new job opportunity came at the right time. It opened up for me so instantly, and it's not coincidence. Like, I truly feel like God opened this door for me at the right time, and that this is what was meant to happen. So excited for new beginnings. Really sad to let go of old things because, again, you guys know me. I like when things are familiar. I like the comfortableness of doing the same things and having the same everything for the rest of my life, but that's just not how life works. So I am just really trusting and holding on to God during this season because it's going to be a significant change. I'm scared. I'm really scared to go into this new job, but I'm also going in with excitement and excitement to take on a new role, excitement to learn things that have never really been on my horizon before. And yeah, excited to see a new school district. I think it'll be helpful whenever it comes time for me to teach. I have more options to choose from and to kind of weigh and, pros and cons of different school districts and everything. So I think overall, there's a lot of pros to this situation. So I'm excited. All right, enough about that. I have really been missing reading and just creating, honestly. I've been in kind of a slump in all creative forms just because I've been so busy, obviously, with the job change and school starting up again. So I'm really missing that part of my life. I can just feel that void. I can feel myself missing taking photos for Instagram just for fun and taking photos with my books, reading. I miss reading so much. I didn't read one day this entire work week. I was able to last night read for a couple hours and it was lovely. But truly my only time on these long weeks are either at night or on the weekends, like on a Saturday night. Because even on Saturdays during the day and like Sundays during the day, I'm working. Like, I'm doing homework, I'm catching up, I'm trying to get ahead for the week. So I have a little bit of downtime during the week. I'm just really busy, but I told my friend Sydney this the other day. Like, I'm thankful to be busy with all of these opportunities and with all of these things that are furthering my future and my knowledge and that are making me 1% better every day. I really am grateful for all the things that keep me busy. But I really miss reading. I am still reading Divine Reverence by Wild Reverence. Sorry, I was mixing up Divine Rivals and Wild Reverence because they're by the same author. I I'm still reading Wild Reverence by Rebecca Ross. I am into it, is the thing. Like, I'm hooked on it. I'm almost 50% through. And I want to keep reading. And I am enjoying it while I'm reading. The problem is I'm not thinking about it whenever I close the book. Like, I am a little bit, and I'm like, oh man, I hope I can pick that back up soon. But I'm not like obsessively thinking about it like I would like a Throne of Glass moment. You know what I mean? Which, again, this has been my dilemma ever since I finished Throne of Glass. Nothing can ever top that for me. So I need to stop comparing it to other books. But it's just, I'm not getting that feeling where I want to pick it up at the end of the day. Like, I'd rather turn on a show right now. I feel like right now I'm kind of just so tired by the end of my days that instead of reading a book, because it like takes so much energy on my eyes, if that makes sense, I'm just laying in bed and turning on a show and scrolling because I haven't been able to do it the entire day. I also need to finish Everything is Tuberculosis by John Green. I think I'm over halfway through with that book. It's That's the audiobook I'm doing. So I could probably finish that this week. That'll be my goal to finish that this week. And then Wild Reverence, I can probably read the rest of that next weekend depending on what I have planned. But yeah. Also update, I still haven't had a sip of alcohol. I just haven't been drawn to it. Of course, there's been maybe on my last day of my job, I was like, maybe I should have a glass of wine tonight. But I was so exhausted. I think I fell asleep at 9 p.m. So that was just, I opted out of that one. But yeah, I still haven't had a sip of alcohol. I think it's 14, 15 days now. Yeah, today's day 15. So I've been 2 weeks without it. I'll check back in next week. But I do know my friend Reagan's birthday is this week, so I think we're gonna do a little dinner, a couple drinks, game night with her. So I might, indulge in that a little bit just because just because I'm celebrating, and why not? But I'll keep you guys updated. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, overall, again, not trying to be fully sober, just if I don't feel the need to have a glass of wine or a beer at night, like I'm not going to, because why? You know, if I don't feel the need to, why make myself? I feel like I used to feel like I had to drink in certain situations. And I've learned that that's just not the case at all. Like, I'm allowed to listen to my body. I'm allowed to just have a chill night at home on the weekends. So I'm really enjoying just my relaxing, peaceful weekends where I'm just reading and indulging in my favorite things when I am not doing homework or working out. But yeah, really missing taking pictures and creating content naturally. I feel like recently the only content I've been creating is if I have a collab or a brand deal, which I'm super thankful for those, and those are so fun to record and film, but I'm missing recording content candidly and not it being an ad shoved in y'all's faces. Speaking of ads, though, I am doing a collaboration with Quince, which Quince has a bunch of like home items. They have linen bedding, they have pots and pans, cookware, they have robes, towels, like just like homey stuff, and it's really great materials. And they sent me some bedding, which I'm so excited about. I'm actually like, as soon as I'm done recording this episode, I'm gonna go record my content for them, and that'll be live on Instagram. But I was so ecstatic whenever they reached out to me. Is that the word, or is it ecstatic? Ecstatic. Ecstatic. I'm not sure. Someone correct me. But yeah, they reached out to me and I was so excited. I was like, I literally have listened to ads on other podcasts about Quince. And now you guys want to work with me. I am just so honored. And I told you guys at the beginning of the year, one of my goals was to really focus on my social media and getting more collabs and giftings and brand deals and just working with my dream brands. And so Quince is definitely like a huge accomplishment. Like, I feel so incredibly lucky that they came across my page and wanted to work with me. But anyways, that's just something exciting that's happened. Update about my textbook last week. It did come in, but I'm an idiot and I mixed up in my mind. I mixed up my PE class and my health class. So I thought I was waiting on my health textbook, but I was actually waiting on my PE textbook. So basically, the health discussion that was due, I could have done it the entire time because I forgot that I had done the digital download for the health textbook, not my PE textbook. So whenever my textbook got here, I was like, wait, this is the wrong one. And then I realized, no, it's just my PE textbook, and I've had my health textbook all along. So that was just a little silly moment for me, but again, that just goes to show how scrambled my brain gets whenever I'm busy and I don't write things down or remember things. So it's really important for me in this season of life right now just to stay organized. I have been writing everything religiously in my planner as well as my digital calendar on my phone. Like, I am the type of person now who has been keeping track of things in two calendars. I've also been writing down my assignments because I have an academic planner, so I can not only write down my like dates and everything and events in my calendar portion, but then I can go through my like weekly overviews and really get into the nitty-gritty, writing down, okay, these are the assignments due this day, these are the assignments due on Fridays. And then I can also put personal events on there. Like, okay, I know I have a bachelorette trip in March. I have a wedding in April. I have a music festival next month in February. Oh, the sun is coming out. I'm so excited. I love when the sun comes out. It genuinely, I feel like a flower, like who turns towards the sun whenever it's out. I love it. But yeah, so everything's good. I completed my first week back to school. However, I am going to have to start working on week 2 things today, literally later. I have a busy day today, y'all. No one likes a busy day on Sunday, but you gotta do what you gotta do when you're a full-time student and you have a basically full-time job. Part-time job, but feels like full-time job. But yeah, so that's a little update on schooling. Dry skin. My skin hates this winter weather right now, and what's crazy is it was so warm for a while, and then we got a quick switch to like below 20-degree weather. It was snowing the other day. And so my skin hates that whenever it switches up so fast. My skin got so dry this week. It was peeling, it was flaky, it looked gross, it hurt so bad, and it's mainly like around my mouth. So if you're seeing on YouTube, or if you're watching on YouTube, you can see like this whole area from like next to my nose all the way around my mouth and my chin. It was so dry and flaky, it hurt so bad. But I'm going to tell you what I did for it. I used the Medicube masks. I did those twice this week, and then I also got this new overnight collagen wrapping mask from Medicube that my friend Georgia put me onto because she also has really dry skin in the winter. That one you put on a thin layer at night, evenly across. You let it dry for 15 minutes, then you go to bed. You wake up in the morning, you peel it off. It's like you're shedding your skin. That like completely fixed my skin. And you put it on as the last step of your skincare. So you can do your normal skincare routine, serums, toners, moisturizers, wait a little bit, So I did my skincare at like 7 p.m. last night, and then I put the mask on at like 9. And you can still have your full skincare routine and wear the mask overnight. That like instantly fixed my skin. I woke up this morning, not a single dry, flaky patch. I already look and feel so much better. And then the last thing I've been using is this, the Bubble brand, very affordable. You can find it at Walmart, Ulta, I think Target, maybe. Yeah. I love Bubble. They have some really great products, but I started using this, it's called Soft Swerve Restore Cream, and it's this very, very thick moisturizer, but it's supposed to be the last step of your routine. So you can wear other moisturizer with it because it's not technically a moisturizer, it's a barrier cream. It is so thick, I can't even, like, it's the thickest thing I've ever put on my face, but it felt so good. My skin loved it. So those are what I've been using to fix my dry skin. Last little update, people we meet on vacation. I forgot to mention this last week, but I watched the movie. I've seen it twice now. I'm obsessed with it. I did also read the book, and I can see like everyone's grievances with, oh, they left so much out of the book. Which I agree. It's disappointing to like see the changes always, in a movie book adaptation. However, I think that it still is a perfect rom-com. Like, if you think of, the movie and the book, like, they can be correlated, but I feel like they are kind of separate stories a little bit. I mean, the basis is the same, but I do feel like, the book just really gets into, like, the nitty-gritty details of Alex and Poppy's lives and Alex's mother's death, and when he got, oh, this is spoilers if you haven't sorry, this is spoilers if you haven't seen the movie or read the book. But Alex gets a vasectomy in the book after Poppy's pregnancy scare because he's like, I don't want that to happen, blah, blah, blah. It's a whole thing. You'll just have to, I honestly highly recommend you read the book. It's always been one of my favorite Emily Henry books. I think it is my favorite next to Happy Place. But the movie is different, and that's okay. I still feel like it's a perfect movie because you can watch People We Meet on Vacation, the movie, without having read the book and still absolutely love it and love Poppy and Alex's characters. And I just think they're both amazing separately. But yes, when you're comparing them, I would say the book is better because the book does go into more detail. But I think that always happens with book movie adaptations. But yeah, okay, those are kind of just my little updates. I don't really have a topic for this week. I kind of just planned to come on and talk to you guys because I've been so insanely busy, but keep messaging me, DMing me about things you want to hear because I want to know what you guys want to I want to know what you guys want to consume. But basically, I am about to go into a pretty new and busy week, obviously starting my new job, and tomorrow, Monday, which will be past by the time you guys listen to this, I have a couple trainings I'll be doing with them on site, and then I will be getting to interact with some of the kids tomorrow at our little school day out day that we're doing. So that's exciting. I'll update you guys. I hate that I can't update you guys on the new job yet. It'll have to be next week just because I literally the only time I have this week to record the podcast was today, Sunday. I know going into this week, I'm not going to have time and I'm not going to want to record it on a weekday just because I have so much going on. Okay, one thing I did want to talk about was, of course, something else is frustrating with me with school right now. So I have to be placed in a practicum classroom for my reading assessment and instruction class course, which I've done before. I've done 2 practicums at my school district already during my program. Basically, the lady who places practicum students and student teachers, she's typically very quick and diligent and is like on it with placements. She's normally so quick, she'll do it in a day. She's like, okay, I have you placed in this classroom, you can start next week, blah 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 blah. Here's the information. This time around, I email her on Monday, the first day of my term, and I'm like, hey, need to set this up, whatever, I want to be placed in a first grade classroom, here are the hours I'm available, here's what I can do, yada yada yada. She didn't answer that day. So I waited a full 24 hours, gave her that time, followed up the next day on Tuesday. I said, hey, just following up on my last email. Don't hear from her that day. She emails me back on Wednesday finally. After I had to email the principal at the school that I worked at and ask her, hey, so sorry, but was wondering if you could get a hold of so-and-so for me. Haven't heard from her yet. And she was like, oh my gosh, absolutely. So the girl finally gets back to me after the principal has to email her. And she's like, hey, I'm so sorry. I've been at a work conference. I will look into this today or tomorrow. It shouldn't be an issue. So I'm like, okay, great. Give her those 2 days. Come Friday, I still had not heard from her. So I followed up again on my personal email and was like, hey, just letting you know, my old email is going to be terminated soon because I'm switching jobs. Just wanted to know if you had any updates, yada, yada, yada. Didn't hear anything from her. So I have to email my instructor and tell her what's going on, and she's like, it's okay, just give me all the information you have already, so like school district, what grade I want to be in, what days I'm going to be doing it, all that stuff. So still haven't heard from her, really hoping and praying that come Tuesday, she gets me a placement because I have to start this. I do 8-week terms and I need to get 18 hours of practicum experience under my belt before the 8th week. I'm stressed, y'all. Like, I'm really stressed. So that's just kind of been something that's been stressing me out lately. My instructor is really chill about it, which makes me feel better, but I am in fact not chill, and I have not been chill about anything in my entire life. So that's just something I'm a little bit worried about, but we will be okay. Another thing I put on here for today, I really miss running. I miss it so much. And of course, it doesn't seem that desirable in this freezing cold weather. And I have been doing hot works like 4 or 5 times a week. So that's been helping me stay active and stay moving and stay motivated. And it helps me feel healthy, helps me feel good. However, I just really miss the adrenaline I would get from a good run, and my foot still hurts, and sometimes it hurts after a hot work session, and I know I should probably go get it checked out because Lydia and I are going to run a half marathon for St. Patty's Day in March, and I need to start training for that. I could definitely do it without training, but like, I need to at least start running a little more again. You know what I mean? Also, hopefully it's not bothering you guys that I'm just like bouncing this little balloon dog around this whole episode. It's just, I love it so much. It's the most fun thing in the world. Thank you, Rebecca. It's so cute. And it's pink. Anyways, that just reminded me that one of my students, or one of my kids, her mom and her embroidered a sweatshirt for me. This gift made me sob, by the way. Literally racking sobs. They made me a sweatshirt, and they embroidered my name on the collar in pink, because they know that's my favorite color. And then on the left hand, which obviously your heart is on your left side, she put the kid did her handprints holding like a heart on the left sleeve. And on the inside of the sleeve were her initials. Like, are you kidding me? It really like blows my mind. I guess you never really realize how much of an impact you have on a child's life or a family's life until they do something like that or until you leave, because the amount of love I received in my last week and on my last day was so overwhelming. And I remember getting home and my mom was like, you're going to have to get used to this. This is what it's like every year on the last day of school as a teacher, and you have to send off your kids. And I'm like, great. I am the most emotional person I think anyone in my life has ever met. So I can't even imagine what it's going to be like being a teacher and having to say goodbye to that class of students every year. I can't. I can't do it. But yeah, that was just really sweet. But yeah, I really miss running. I'm hoping I'm going to be able to get back into it soon. Either way, I'm just going to run it, and if I get an injury, no, I can't. Cindy's probably listening to this like, Lakyn, don't do it. Go get it checked out. I need to. I've been icing it sometimes. Anyways. Okay. Arizona's next month. Music festival. Innings Music Festival is next month. I think I'm going to wear these little, like, because it'll be a little bit warmer, obviously. But it won't be so blazing hot because it's February. So I'm really excited for that. Brittany and I are going for the more, like, casual, cute vibe. Like, Converse vibes, little bloomer shorts, oversized band t-shirt. Don't know what I'm going to do with my hair yet. It's probably going to be up because, like, you know. And then we're gonna split the cost of a locker at the festival so that we can put jackets in there, because we got VIP tickets, so we have a little lounge area that we were able to go to eat, drink, stay hydrated during the festival whenever we want. So I really am thankful we got VIP tickets just for that, because I think it'll be really helpful. But yeah, we're gonna get a locker so that we can have our jackets for when it cools off at night. It is kind of an all day thing. I think doors open at noon, and then, or no, doors open at like 11 something. Show starts at noon. 21 Pilots don't go on until 9 p.m. So we are gonna be there like the whole day. So I just think that'll be helpful. But I'm gonna wear these little like gingham red bloomer shorts and then an oversized t-shirt. I haven't decided what t-shirt I'm gonna wear yet. I might order a 21 Pilots one, obviously, because that's what we're literally going there for. But I'm just so excited to be in Arizona. I've never been before. I'm excited to eat In-N-Out. I have had In-N-Out and I miss it so much. Just really excited to get the feel for it there and be in a new city and have a little break from all the chaos that has been my life lately. I feel like it'll be a much needed, like, random winter vacation, and I'm just really, really looking forward to that. That's what's getting me through. Last couple things. I recently have been wanting to move out of my parents' house. I don't know why I've been thinking about it so much lately. I think just with this new job, like new changes, new beginnings, I'm kind of just like, I kind of want to move out. But at the same time, I keep going back and forth about it because I'm like, why would I move out when I have the privilege to live in my parents' house for a little bit longer? Like, I could live here until I get an actual teaching job, sorry, which would make more sense. But I'm like, I don't know. I just think it would be really nice to have my own space, especially to live in Springfield, where my new job will be, which still, it's only like a 25-minute commute for me. And my dad commutes further than that every day. But I don't know. I've been thinking about it more and more lately. So we'll stay tuned on that. I just really need to start doing my job and seeing what the paychecks are like and save more and see where we are with that. Kind of in the same realm as moving out, I've kind of been in this headspace for a long time that I've been conditioned by people in my life to think that staying in one place forever is bad, and you should get out, get out, get out, and you shouldn't still be in the hometown that you shouldn't still be in the town that is your hometown and that you went to school in and whatnot. I think I've always been conditioned to think that that's just the worst thing you could do for yourself and that staying is a bad thing. But I often go back to a comment that Noah Kahn made on someone's TikTok where he said, it's okay to stay. And he said, sometimes it's okay to stay. And I think about that a lot. And also, my good friend Danielle told me last week, we were talking about how, all the teachers at my school were like, please come back to us. And I'm just like crying. And I'm like, great, I'm going to have to stay here forever. And Danielle just goes, that's not a bad thing. And I'm like, you're right. It's really not. And I've been conditioned and thought my whole life that after graduating high school or at a certain point, I needed to up and get out of here. But the more I talk to people around me and the more I see people who live in Springfield and have lived here their whole lives and are thriving and they're so happy and they absolutely love it, I'm just like, would it be such a bad thing to stay where I'm at? Stay where I have roots? It's okay to have roots somewhere. It's hard to uproot and go somewhere else. And my friend Caitlin said to me yesterday while we were hanging out that even though she's in the same place as she always has been, she doesn't feel stagnant. And that really resonated with me and sat with me because I feel like I don't feel stagnant. At one point I did, but I don't feel stagnant anymore. I feel like I'm constantly moving and evolving and growing. And even though I'm in the same place physically, the same setting that I always have been in, I'm not in the same place mentally that I've always been in. And I think that's the shift. And I don't need to uproot myself and go to a completely new city to feel to feel stimulated, if that makes sense. So that's been something I've been thinking about a lot lately, is just, would it be so bad to stay here, to get my own place in Springfield, to teach at the district that I grew up in because I absolutely adore it and I adore all of the people in it, to stay close to my family, my grandparents, who knows how much time you have left with your grandparents. I just feel like I'm becoming more okay with the idea of it every year that I grow. So that's kind of just where my head is at right now. And it makes me emotional because it's weird to unlearn something. It's weird to unlearn things that you were taught. And I don't see I don't see it as a bad thing anymore, I don't think, to stay in the same place that I've always been. As long as I am emotionally and spiritually growing, it's okay to stay in the same place. And I just think of my future and I think I would absolutely love to be a teacher at this district that I grew up in. And I would love to stick with the people that I know and that I love. And I would love to maybe have some of my old after school kiddos in my classroom in the future one day. I don't know. It's been a lot of food for thought recently. And I can still be independent and reach my goals and have a good life by staying. And I also often think of the quote from Little Women where, what's her name? It's Jo, her sister. It's not Amy. It's the older sister. She says to Jo, she says, just because my dreams are different than yours doesn't make them less important. And I think about that a lot because I do have different dreams than some of the people I grew up with. And that's okay because everyone's dream is their own and everyone has their own set of goals and their own skill set. And just because they're different doesn't mean they're any less important. So, I guess I'll close on that today. That's how I'm feeling. Feeling very, I'm feeling good. I'm in definitely one of the busiest seasons of my life, but it's all good things. And I'm probably at the best mental spot in my life that I have ever been, even though I'm emotional about leaving my old job. Of course, I mean, that's a natural reaction. I still feel like I'm in a really good spot and I feel like God is opening doors for me and I feel like He's showing me, sorry, I'm getting emotional. I feel like He's showing me that it's time to make change. And even though that's uncomfortable, I'm excited and I'm really proud of myself for taking a leap of faith and for following after the plan that God has set out for me. And yeah, that is what I will leave you with today. I love you guys, and this has been a love letter from Lakyn. I will see you next week. Bye, guys.